So I don't know about where you're at, but here in Maine, we went from winter to summer in like 2 weeks. Like, honestly, on the 10th, Patton and I went, I don't know if you saw the pictures that I shared on Facebook, but we went for a hike for our anniversary, and there was like 8 inches of snow on the ground where we were, which was only like an hour from us. It's like 95 degrees. And I'm not okay with it. What happened to spring? Even my garden, like, you'd think it'd be happy, right? But it's like, I'm dying. I don't care how much you water me, this isn't okay, I'm dying. And I don't blame it because I kind of feel the same way. Speaking of being watered, though, Patton recently yesterday, he put in a hose on the side of the house, which is very exciting. So I've been watering myself and the kids quite well with a hose, and it's been fun, It's like 40-degree water coming out of the well, but once you commit to getting wet, it's a lot of fun, and I'm still damp and sticky, but now the breeze feels good and cooling instead of nasty. So I just wanted to share something that I've been working on. We were in the shipping container getting some of our stuff out, and I found my box of cards from our wedding. I saved every single one of them. So if you sent me a card, I still got it, and I recently read through it. The cat says hi. So this is what I'm working on, and you can just see right there that I lightly drew 2 silhouettes on there in pen. And I am taking all of the cards that everyone sent me, and I am cutting pieces out of it, and I am gluing it onto here. I painted it royal blue because that was our wedding colors were royal blue, silver, and white. And so I painted this royal blue, and in the 4 corners, I'm going to paint a silver Celtic knot, like a corner little decoration. And I have been spending my evenings after the kids go to bed, and while we watch a show, cutting these up into little pieces and gluing them on, because I thought, why should all these cards sit in a box and get looked at once every 10 years, and then eventually I'll get old and my kids will go through my stuff and throw them all away. So I thought I'd make a piece of art out of them. And hopefully it comes out nice. We'll see. I don't know. I'm liking it so far. I'm trying to make it random. It's actually kind of hard to make it random. But then I have, like, all these little pieces that, like, I know there's gaps, but, I can only get so picky. But all these little pieces that I have to cut into all these weird little shapes to make them fit, it actually takes a long time. Like, I've been working on this for, like, a week every night. And, it takes a while. But I'm liking it so far. Got some little words in there. Just little stuff. Little stuff. I'm enjoying it. It's fun. Hopefully it comes out well. So just an idea. If you've got boxes of cards, make some art out of it. Also, something I wanted to share is letterboxing. If you've known me for any period of time, you've probably heard me talk about it at some point because I'm a little bit obsessed with it. So you've probably heard of geocaching, right? And whether you have or you haven't, geocaching is an app, and people hide little containers, and they usually have a piece of paper on it, and when you find one, you write your name and the date, and you put it back, and you hide it again. Most of these, though, you use an app, and it goes purely by, well, not purely, but almost always, it goes by GPS location. So, hey, let's go for a nice nature walk and find this cool thing, but we're going to stare at our phone the whole time. Like, I don't know. It's cool. There's a lot of ones that are right on guardrails that you can just stop and do real quick. Those are nice if you don't want to, like, commit to going to do something, but hey, let's find this cool little thing on the way to the grocery store. But letterboxing, people. Letterboxing is way cooler. Letterboxing is similar to geocaching, except it's a stamp. And each letterbox that you find usually doesn't go by coordinates, it goes by clues, and it'll tell you, look for the 3 birch trees and take 15 steps until you see the big rock on your right, and then, under a stump next to the rock is, you get the idea. That was completely made up, but maybe there's one like that. I don't know. Haven't found it yet. So most letterboxes have a custom stamp, or you buy one, and then they have their little notebook inside of it. And you have your own stamp that you can custom make or buy in your own notebook. So when you go find one, you take your stamp and stamp their logbook and put your name and date on it, and you take their stamp and stamp your logbook and put the place and date on it. And it's really fun. They're really cool. I love seeing the stamps. Some of them are super intricate. I made my own stamp, which I would love to show you, but I can't find it. I have no idea where it is. I wish I did. I really wish I did. I don't know where it is. Here somewhere. I'm sure it'll be someplace only a child would think to put it. But yeah, so how I made my stamp was actually, you could get the block of rubber and a X-Acto knife and do all that. That's a lot of work, though, and I don't have the time for that anymore. Maybe in my younger years with less kids, or no kids. But what I did is I took a piece of craft foam. They're 5x7 sheets or 6x9 or whatever they are. Just the thin little craft foam that come in bright colors. And I bought, sorry, I've got mosquitoes all over me. Right, I was saying something. I went to Hobby Lobby and they have the balsa wood gift tags that are just little thin wooden rectangles. So what I did is I cut out a piece of, my train of thought derailed. I cut out a piece of foam to the size of that. And, oh, I see. I heard something and I wasn't sure what it was. Daddy's coming home. I'll make this quick. I cut it out to the size and I figured out my design. I drew it out on paper. But when you make a stamp, it flips. It's going to be backwards. So what I did is I drew it out on paper and I held it up to the window backwards. And then I could see the lines through it, and then I just traced it so that it was backwards. Then I laid it flat on the foam, and I just pressed it hard with a pen. And that left big indents in the foam, which makes the stamp. Now, instead of a raised stamp where you see just the picture most of the time, it's the opposite. It's more like a relief stamp where you see a colored block with white lines in it, or whatever color the paper is. Sorry, there's a mosquito flying around my face. And it's so cool. And it's really easy. And then I just glued my piece of foam onto my little balsa wood block. And ta-da, a stamp. And if you wanted to, you could get a drawer knob or something like that and glue it to the back of it and to have a little handle. But yeah. You're bored, you have nothing better to do, right? Go letterboxing. Go see some cool places you'd never think to go. Take your kids. Make your own stamp. Go buy a stamp. It's fun. I suggest it a lot. Letterboxing.org is the website. There's also a site called Atlas Quest that has all the places, and there's tons everywhere, all over the country and the world. So, go letterboxing.